Some of you may have seen my post from the other day, maybe some of you didn't, but I just wanted to jump on and share a little bit about what's been going on in my life, what I've been up to, what I've been dealing with, and all of that stuff. So this is a life update video with the good, the bad, and the ugly, just because I want you guys to know what's going on with me, what I deal with in my life, and in turn, maybe this will encourage one of you, because we know as we walk this narrow road, the Bible has not promised us that this walk would be easy, but that God would be with us always. So I just want to get into some good things and some not so good things and all of that stuff. So I took a little break last week just from making videos. Actually took a break from a lot of things because I honestly was just not up for it. Not up for it physically, mentally, in so many different ways. But I first want to start out with something that's super exciting that's been going on with my husband and I. And this has been a very long time coming. This has been something that we have talked about for really many years, but we really never knew when this would come about. And so obviously you guys know that we have been trying to get pregnant and have our own family, and that hasn't happened just yet. But we always knew, even though we've wanted our own kids, we always knew that we would foster kids or that we would foster to adopt. We always knew that our family would be a blended family and that the Lord would bless us with children, whether it was, through fostering, which could be varying amounts of time, could be a couple days to a couple weeks to a couple months to a couple years. And then sometimes with fostering, you can foster, and if the child becomes available for adoption and you want to adopt them, then you might be able to do that. So anyway, we just did our classes the past 2 weekends, and we have been waiting actually a year for these weekend classes. Basically, it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 2 weekends in a row, and you got all of the classroom hours done basically in 6 days. So it was really a lot of information. The training was actually really good, and we're going through a Christian organization, a Christian agency, and so they are completely behind our Christian values, everything that we believe in as believers. And so I was just really thankful that I found this place, and actually I think my mom was the one that told me about this place. So anyway, we've been waiting a year for these weekend classes because of our schedules and things like that. It was really the only time that we could do it. So anyway, yesterday was our last class, and we are officially done with our classroom training. We do have a lot more things to do, like CPR, first aid, background checks, applications, interviews. Like there's a lot that goes into being licensed as a foster parent. But we are excited about this journey. I'm also a little bit apprehensive because I know it's not going to be an easy journey. I know it isn't going to be something that just, you start off and everything's just like sunshine and rainbows. I know that there's going to be highs and lows. There's going to be difficulties, because obviously the kids that are going through foster care, they are coming from a very traumatic home life, some of them abused, and I won't get into all of that, but we already know going into this that only the Lord will be able to help us do this. Because at the end of the day, these kids need love, they need a safe environment, they need a home, they need people just to come alongside them and comfort them. But also we're excited that we can bring them into our church, and we could have them learn about Jesus if they don't know him. And so we're just really grateful for this to finally come to fruition. So I will keep you guys posted on that. We are hoping to be licensed by the end of the year. But that's just been something that's been really exciting for us. And obviously, we're still going to be trying for our own children, but for some reason, this is taking place before that. So, how often does that happen, though, where the Lord does things differently than we thought they would go? So anyway, that's one of the good things that we have going on right now. And obviously, there's so many other good things. My husband has been blessed at his job. He's been working a lot, and then obviously we're doing these classes and whatnot. But so we do have a lot of other good things going on. But I did want to share something with you guys, and I didn't share this right away because I don't really know why, but I didn't share this with you right away. I guess I was kind of just like sitting on this and mulling it over and just like praying about it and stuff. And like my family and some of my friends and whatnot know what's been going on with me physically. But basically, I don't know if you guys remember, but when we lived in Texas, I had shared a video of how I went to the doctor and they told me I had mono, and that's when my blood oxygen dropped really low, and I felt like I was literally going to die, and like the Lord saved me in that doctor's office that day. But anyway, long story short, they just chalked it up to, you have mono, and in 6 months you should feel fine, and if you don't, go back to the doctor. So fast forward to us moving to Ohio in 2023, we were busy moving, and I kind of seemed to feel better for some time. And then I would begin to have these certain symptoms again. And a lot of it was like joint pain, fatigue, a lot of different things. So, and I'm not going to touch on every detail, but basically for months and months and months, I've been going through this cycle of a lot of pain, a lot of fatigue, like completely weak. Sometimes where I go to stand up, I barely can stand. I've been going through cycles of that. And so it's kind of like up and down, and pain's there, pain's gone. Feel pretty good for a couple weeks, I'm feeling terrible. I have no energy and all of those things. And so I saw a couple different doctors this year over the past couple months. And after different tests and blood work and different things like that, the rheumatologist said that I have MCTD. So it's mixed connective tissue disease, and it's an autoimmune disease. And basically, this disease can share symptoms from other autoimmune diseases. And typically, if you have MCTD, you may also have lupus or something else, but right now my body and my blood work is not showing lupus or another autoimmune. It's specifically showing this MCTD. And so I was happy at the time to finally have an answer, to finally have a diagnosis, because I felt like as I've been going through now, really since the end of 2022, I've been going through these cycles of symptoms and these pains and all of these things, and I knew something was wrong. I felt like the Lord wanted me to go and get a definitive answer. Like, don't just let this go by the wayside, but get that answer, get that diagnosis. And I believe that's kind of twofold. One, so I could finally have an answer and put away the questioning. But two, I fully believe that the Lord will heal me of this autoimmune disease. That is what I fully believe. And even this morning when I was praying, because even last week where I had to take a break from a lot of things. I mean, I did my normal cleaning jobs and daily life stuff, but I really couldn't do a lot of extra things that I normally do because I was just in extreme pain. And when I talk about like joint pain or muscle pain, the only way that I can describe a lot of the pain that I feel is deep bone pain. That's how I would explain it to the doctors. Like, it's as if you are aching from the depth of your soul. Like your bones, your muscles, they ache. And the pain kind of migrates around, and you add in fatigue on top of that, and then you're still just supposed to live your everyday life and do all the activities that you normally do, it's basically next to impossible. And so there's a lot of times where I still go about my normal activities, my normal responsibilities, even though I'm in extreme pain. And if somebody didn't know that I had this condition, or if I didn't say, oh, I'm really hurting today, which a lot of times I don't. A lot of times I don't tell anybody that I'm in extreme pain today. Like if people saw me walking around a store or cleaning at our church or just doing things at home, they would never really know the level of pain that I'm feeling, the fatigue that I'm feeling. Like I feel like I wear a mask a lot with this disease because I guess multiple reasons, but I want to be able to do all the things that I've always done. Like I'm very active and I love to work out and I love to hike and I love to be in nature, and I have a lot of things that I do with my art and typically this channel and my cleaning jobs and just the things that I do at home and my things that I sell online. Like I have a lot of things that I do and that I enjoy doing. But as this, and I hate calling it a disease, but I guess that's really what it is. As this disease has progressed, I'm finding there's times that I just simply can't do certain things. And so that in turn starts to wear on me mentally and emotionally. And I get sad. And there's been nights, even in the evening, where I've been in pain all day and I'm tired and I'm weak and tears just flow down my face because I almost feel helpless. I feel like I'm trapped in this body filled with so much pain, and I can't do the things like I used to, and not at the level or the frequency that I used to. And so it's just been very, very draining, and I feel like I'm in like warfare in a way because my body is battling and my mind is battling and my heart is breaking. And so as I go through these highs and lows, because really this autoimmune comes with what they call flares. So I could be fine for a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months, and then boom, it's back literally out of nowhere. And so I'm still doing some research on it, but I'm also learning, one, to rest, where the Lord is really teaching me that even though I've lived basically my entire life on the go, on the move, always doing 1,000 different things and being super active, He's teaching me that my worth, what makes me me doesn't depend on doing all of those things. And if God had a rest after creating the world, then why should I not rest when I need to rest? And so I really feel like He's been pulling me into those times where it's okay to not do anything. It's okay that you can't go do this or you can't work on this today. You need rest. And so I'm learning to accept myself in that rest, if that makes sense, because that's really not who I am. Like I do like my times of relaxing and things like that, but it makes me feel somewhat lazy if I rest too much. But it's been getting to the point where if I'm in that much pain or I have fatigue so bad that day that I am having to go away for times of rest. And what was the other thing that I was going to say? Oh, and another thing, and that's one thing with this disease is it messes up my mind a lot too. And I hate it because just like now, I had all these things to say and then it's like, boom, brain fog. But another thing that the Lord is teaching me through this is not only rest, but also to learn how to say no and to listen Like, don't just say yes because you always have said yes, but you have to learn to say no and to ask him. And that's where he's really helping me, even on a daily, sometimes an hourly basis. Like, what should I do today? If I know I only have this amount of energy, or, maybe I'm not feeling the best today, what are my priorities today? What are my have to do's today, my have to do's, and what aren't? And so he's helping me even just to lean on him on a daily basis of even the little life things that I guess I used to just kind of do on autopilot. But anyway, like I said, I kind of lost my train of thought on everything I wanted to share with you guys on that. But I do, I feel like I'm learning a lot through this because, like I said, I can go around and I guess really pretend that I'm okay when I'm not. And I'm more so saying physically because I still push myself to do the things that I do, like my cleaning and other activities, hiking and walking with my husband and all of that, because I refuse to not do anything. Like, I refuse to let everybody know around me that I'm in extreme pain. And like my back and my neck and my legs and my hips and my arms and my head like hurt so bad today that like I feel like somebody is compressing me between two blocks of steel. Like, I don't want to vocalize it. I don't want to complain. But I guess I'm learning to be vulnerable as well, to say no, to ask for help when I need help, to say that I simply can't do this or that. And that's really hard for me because that's not really who I am. But I feel like the Lord is just teaching me a lot through all of this. And like I said, ultimately, my prayer is that the Lord completely heals me of this and he could use it as a testimony. Like, no one else can feel what I feel, just as I don't know what you are going through today, but the Lord knows. And he can use whether it's my pain or even the times where I start to feel depression creep in because of this chronic pain. He can use those things that we're going through for his glory. And so maybe you suffer from chronic pain. Maybe you deal with depression or mental issues or something else that you are walking through that not many people know about, that you have that mask on too. The Lord knows, and he sees all things, and he knows even when you may be sitting on the couch with tears running down your face. He sees that, and he's reminding me to not look at the pain, to not look at this disease and to focus so much on how I feel. But to really just look up and look to him. And that's what a guy that I go to church with, he shared with me probably 2 months ago now, but he's someone else that struggles with a lot of physical pain. And when you feel that constantly, it's like it's right here in your face, like it's always there. And you really can't vocalize that to other people because that's just not who I am. I try to just be as normal as I could be, even though I may be in extreme pain. But he's like, it's right there in your face. And the very next day, the Lord told me to look up, look past that thing and look up to him. Don't stare at that pain or that depression or that thing. Don't let that thing steal your focus, but look up and focus on the Lord. And even this morning, I had woke up again in just extreme pain. I mean, pain like you wouldn't believe, and I hate it. And I thought, oh, here we go, another day where I have to go through the day of being in constant pain. And the Lord said, look at me. Like, just look at me. Don't focus on the pain today. I know it wants to get your attention. I know you feel it, but look at me. And I feel like as I've done that today, I feel the pain kind of lessening. And so whether I have to do that and remind myself every hour, every 10 minutes, like to look back up at him, to praise his name, no matter how I feel, then that's what I'm going to have to do. So I knew I would get emotional sharing this stuff with you guys because it's been really, really difficult. And like I said, if I didn't share this with you, you probably wouldn't have a clue that I've really been hurting. And I try to be strong, and I'm thankful for the people in my life that have been praying for me and that have been supporting me in this. But I think oftentimes because I don't really talk about it, people don't really know how I feel. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And I pray that one day I can have a testimony video that shares with you guys that I'm healed and that I'm doing so much better and that I'm not struggling with this anymore. But I just ask that you guys would pray for me. I know a lot of you have been, and you haven't probably known the details of this, but I really appreciate your prayers. And obviously, as you guys give prayer requests on Sunday, just like I ask for every week, I am praying for you as well. I believe in the power of prayer. I know that our God is still a God of miracles. Like, I refuse to believe that he doesn't still heal today. He's the way maker, the miracle worker. He's the promise keeper. And so I'm going to keep believing and keep praying that he heals me, but that he also does a work in you, in whatever area that you need it in, because I know you may not struggle with chronic pain, but you may be dealing with something else that is just as hard and just as difficult on a daily basis as I am. And so if you do have a prayer request, leave it in the comments because I would love to pray for you guys. But I think I'll end it with that today. I just wanted to give, kind of an exciting update and then just the reality of what I've been dealing with. But as we go through this life, we know there's always the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, we know that life isn't perfect and that we are all dealing with different things. But the whole point and the whole reason I share this is to point you to Jesus, that no matter what you're going through, look up and look to him because he is there for you. He has the answer. Turn to his word. Let it just wash over your mind. Let it remind you of who he is, who you are in him, the things that you have available to you, that he is still healing today. He's still moving today. And just the last thing, I just wanted to thank you guys even for your patience with me. I mean, last week, I don't even think I had one video. So I thank you for your patience. As I've told you guys before, I don't just make videos to get into an algorithm or for profit or any of those things. So this channel has never been about those things. And I'm not going to just make videos to just, stay current and relevant. But like, I've always wanted to just share my heart with you guys, share real life as a believer on this narrow road, but also to share the hope of the gospel, to share the hope of Jesus Christ with a world that desperately needs it. And so I just thank you guys for sticking along with me. I thank you for your patience and your prayers. And my hope is that I just start to feel better and whatever the Lord wants to teach me and work through me in this process, that I would just be a good blob of clay that he could work with, and just shape into who he wants me to be. Because sometimes We don't know why we go through these things, but we know that everything works out, you know, because if he's number one in our life, like, we can't go wrong. So share this with somebody who needs to hear this today. Maybe they're going through chronic pain or some other type of issue. But I do thank you guys just for being here. I can't say that enough. And I'm just very thankful for you. And so one day we will meet in eternity, and I can't wait until that day. So have a great week, guys. I pray you're doing well. Thank you so much for praying for me. And until next time, we'll see ya.